everybody, and welcome to another episode of Surviving the Badge.
Cheers.
We still got your 6.
Cheers.
Tonight we're going to be talking about the kidnapping of Charlotte Sena and the whole case surrounding this. And then we're going to have a new beer moment, and we have a new sponsor. We'll be right back to talk about that, so stick around. Hey, welcome back. We're going to start off tonight with a beer moment.
No, we're not. We're going to start off with me paying my bet from last night. Well, I didn't initiate the bet because I knew that I probably shouldn't, but LT bet me that the Bears would beat the Red
Washington,
Commanders.
whatever.
The Commander Skins.
And I said, sure, why not? And it was brutal, 40-20, so here's me paying my bet, jerkface.
Chewing. All right, we're going to thank you for paying your
And then
your debt.
whilst I'm talking, I'll go ahead and talk about the officer fallen moment. As of right now, we have 95 officers who have fallen in the line of duty, and everything is down except for other drownings, falls, sicknesses. COVID only has like 9 this year. Remember a couple years ago where there was like hundreds, or 100 or so.
Yeah.
But everything else is down except for other. So, to all of the fallen law enforcement officers,
That's all I got.
we salute you.
Salute. God bless you and your families. All right, so the beer moment tonight is brought to you by our sponsors.
We have a sponsor again?
We do.
Yay!
We never lost them. There was some miscommunication on my part. So
He is getting old, you know.
So please make sure you contact them and Clem and Company. Sorry, let me get my transition. Tom and our sponsors, thank you very much for sponsoring our beer moment.
All right.
Thank you.
Now can we drink it? Jeez.
What is it? Sorry.
So tonight we have a special release, New Belgium Oak Spire Bourbon Barrel Ale.
Oh, yeah.
4 Roses.
Yeah, you can. Oh, that's good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so good.
Ooh.
Oh, that has some character to it, some meat to it.
That is good.
You taste that oak barrel,
Yeah.
that char barrel,
totally.
whiskey, like, oh my
I've
God.
had a couple of bourbon beers,
Yeah.
but I think they add bourbon to them.
Okay. Not just let
Not just let it soak it
Yeah,
up.
this was just aged in the
This
charred
was
barrels.
This is good. It's,
Damn, that's good. I'm going to start the voting. No, I'm going to start it only because I cheated and had a little bit of this last night. I'm going to start the voting at a solid 8.8.
Yeah, I'm going to give this an 8.75.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
a good solid beer.
Yeah, it's a good, solid
Good job,
beer.
New Belgium. New Belgium.
Yep. And you can find this just about anywhere. I looked it up, and it's at several of the stores. But I'll have our Mr. Camille, if you'll put a picture
I
of that
totally
on there
will.
so
Yes,
they can
sir.
see it. All right,
Yep.
awesome. All right, let's get rolling, John.
So we're going to talk about the kidnapping of Charlotte Sena on Saturday, September 30th. 9-year-old Charlotte Sena, while on a family camping trip at Moreau Lake State Park in New York, was kidnapped.
You been there, John?
I have not.
Okay.
Have you?
No, well, you're from New York, so that's or
No, I'm
New
not from
Jersey.
New York.
I know.
I'm from Jersey.
Jersey, New York, same thing.
No, it's not the same
Exactly.
It's
thing.
totally the same thing.
Sort of like Florida, Georgia, same thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both rock.
Florida is just lower Alabama.
Right.
True.
Anyway, so State
Okay.
Park in New York.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so she was bike riding with some friends.
I'm sorry, how old?
She's 9 years old.
9 years old. Okay.
Okay, she was reported missing at 6:45 after her bike was found in a bike loop where she had been riding with friends. Okay, and then a massive manhunt ensued. There was over 480 linear miles and over 400 people were involved. Law enforcement officers and citizens were involved.
Right.
So it's just a regular campground.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you
Well,
put
it's
your
a state park. Or,
state park
you know,
campground, you're
right.
camping.
You know,
Okay.
they're just camping. Families out there camping.
Yeah. What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Can't
Right.
trust anything these days.
Right. But, like I said, they had state police, FBI, and all the local agencies and all that were involved in these in the search for her.
Right.
Now, I never had to really participate or investigate any true kidnappings.
Yeah, I've had missing persons. I was with FDLE. We had a kidnapping, but I did peripheral stuff, so no, I really didn't have a lot of experience with that either.
But I mean,
Oh wait, no.
were you involved with the girl?
No, I worked the Trenton Duckett case
Okay.
where he was kidnapped, but we all
Right.
think that his mom took
Right.
him and killed him. He was never found, and then she killed herself, and that's a completely different story.
Right. So, so one of the things they did, miraculously, but good police work, the state police put someone to monitor the family's house. They were still at the park,
Okay.
you know, and working with the investigators there and doing all they can, and hopefully they're going to find her in the woods. That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah,
and all that
wandered
stuff.
off. Yep.
And about Monday morning, about 4:20 a.m. Now, keep in mind, yes, they were monitoring the house, but they, you know, so people knew who it was. People are driving by the house. It's now notorious.
Right. Yeah.
You know, people know. You know, this is
Everybody wants to drive by the house.
drive by the house. Drive by the house. So there's a lot of traffic.
Notorious B.I.G.
Right.
You know, in front of the house and all that stuff.
That's the case we should have done. We should have done the rest of the Tupac killer.
Oh, well, why didn't you suggest it?
I'm old and feeble-minded, and
So it's the case. So anyway, apparently, someone drove by the house, stopped at the mailbox, and dropped something in the mailbox. And the trooper who was there went and retrieved what was put in the mailbox, and it turned out to be a ransom letter. Now, I don't believe they've released what was in the ransom letter.
Right.
But then, from the ransom letter, they found fingerprints. Suspect was previously arrested
Yep.
for
They used
DUI.
they
Authorities managed to track down and arrest 47-year-old Craig Nelson Ross Jr. after they recovered a ransom note that had been dropped off at Charlotte's family home early Monday morning.
He literally drove up to the family's mailbox, assuming they were not home, leaving a critical piece of evidence behind, his own fingerprint.
Police entering that fingerprint into their database, discovering a match for a DWI in 1999 in the city of Saratoga.
probably used some ninhydrin on the paper and developed the prints.
Which does what?
It reacts with the amino acids in the fingerprint, and it turns the fingerprint purple.
Okay, now, is it ninhydrin or just crazy glue?
No, ninhydrin is for paper. Crazy glue or
Super glue.
cyanoacrylate
Okay.
is for smooth surfaces like handguns,
Okay.
glass, tile, things like that.
All right.
A.K.A. super glue.
All right.
Cyanoacrylate.
You're the scientist. I'm the lay person.
Right.
So about 2:30, they got a hit, and they identified the suspect as Craig Nelson Ross Jr.
Now I'm guessing they had his tag and they let him go, and then
Yes, they did, and that's going to be the main question I'm going to ask at the end of this,
Okay.
because, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm not sure if they got the tag, because obviously, if you're monitoring a location, surveilling it, you're not going to be sitting right up there in front.
No, you wouldn't be
No.
close enough to see a tag unless you set up.
Well,
some
if you're
type
on
of camera.
TV, you would.
Yeah,
Right. You just sit across the street.
and everything can see 100 miles away. And
Right.
Let me just say something about that. I watched the show the other night, right? And they're following the suspect, and they pull off to the side of the road and they're only like 100 feet behind the suspect, and they turn their headlights off, and I'm like, oh my God, I mean, come on. Even the dumbest person in the U.S. or anywhere could figure out that's ridiculous. Anyway, sorry, John.
Yeah. So anyway.
But they had identified that a vehicle, a certain type of vehicle, dropped this note off and
Right.
left. Okay.
Now, they were also utilizing all sorts of other technological equipment.
Right.
You know, they were checking cell phones. They were also looking at, there was an admission to get into the park. So they're looking to see who paid to get into the
Admin
park.
records, yeah. Or
But if it was
yeah.
cash,
If it was cash, it would be a problem. But
did the park have
Cameras of the cars coming in?
Coming in?
You know?
I'm not sure if they had that.
Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is they were using all this other technology.
Every tool's in the toolbox.
Right. And they were able to basically confirm that this Craig Nelson Ross Jr.
So they identified him strictly from the fingerprint?
I think that was the positive ID,
Okay.
but I believe they had the supporting information that he was in the park that day, probably about that time because of the phone. They can
Right.
geo-track the phone, and this phone was in this area.
But unless the fingerprint was of APHIS quality, they would have to have come up with his name some other way. But if the print was APHIS quality, and does he have a criminal history?
A DUI.
Okay. So they put if the print from the note was of APHIS quality, automatic fingerprint identification system, then it would give him the name there. If it wasn't, which most of the time it's not. I love how they have, like you said, they have shows where
CSI.
yeah, oh, match. Yeah, no, most of the time it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this took them, seems like about 10 hours.
that's pretty quick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what they may have been able to do was utilize the park admission
Right.
cell phone and say, hey, we've got these 15 people.
Right.
Let's look at them.
Right.
Okay, and now we got 15 people. Okay, these people got arrest records.
Right.
And now let's go to the microfiche.
Right. And microfiche.
That's old school. It's like micro printed.
You see all the slides going by on the screen. Oh my
Oh, you're
God.
just making it hard for me to find microfiche video. Thanks, guys. You guys are jerks.
We want to see that on the video, Mr. Editor. By the way, Camille took over the editing about 7 or 8 shows ago, and I have got to tell you, it is a bazillion times better than when I was doing it. I do not mind admitting it. Hey, good job, brother. Good job.
You're just
Very
making
good
it hard
job.
for me now. Thanks. You're saying that shit on purpose.
Keep adding shit, John. Keep adding shit. I love it.
So anyway,
Oh,
they
sorry,
found
sorry.
a 3-legged dog chasing a 4-legged cat.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay.
I just want you to put that in there.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me reel the show back in here. Come on, boys.
And this is only our first show for the night.
Yeah,
Wow.
we only had a half a beer.
So
Jesus.
anyway, they conducted a search at Ross's mother's house, which I assume that's where his residence was.
Oh, this guy lives with his mom.
Oh,
Shocker.
yes. At her double
Wow.
wide.
Imagine that.
At her double
Oh, right.
wide.
Yeah, double shocker.
Yeah, located in Boston Spa, New York.
Oh, that sounds like a thriving metropolis.
Wow.
And Charlotte Sena was located inside a cabinet in the trailer, and he was located and subsequently arrested.
And they charged the mom for
Accessory.
accessory.
Yeah, I actually am not positive about that, but I'm pretty
hope.
sure they probably did.
It's probably coming, yeah.
I can't even guarantee if she was there. I
That's true.
haven't seen anything about the mother.
But you know it's coming, probably.
And the 12 hours.
You would hope.
If she were out of town or something, you could see that, maybe not charging her, but if she were there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, you didn't realize there was a kid in the cabinet?
Right? In the cabinet.
Yeah, because you know as well as I do, unless the kid's drugged or sick or physically unable, the kid is going to be saying something, crying,
Yeah.
And
knocking
that is-
stuff over, hitting the door. I mean, something. Come on.
One of the wonderful things about this case, not that there's anything good about it,
No, not at
but
all.
she was apparently in good condition. There
That's
was
what I
no,
heard,
there was
yep.
no indication
Thank
of
God,
any
man.
issues.
Thank God.
Okay, so now here's the two things.
That poor baby.
You know, the first thing I want to ask you is, you know, this was like 1940s kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Charles Lindbergh, like a Lindbergh
Right.
baby
Yeah.
kidnapping.
You hardly ever hear about ransom notes being delivered for a child.
Snatching right
Yeah.
off the street and a ransom note. Yeah, that's.
Right. I mean, this is like old school stuff.
So
Now,
this,
now let
this
me-
guy's brain is probably broken a little bit.
Now let me ask you this: exactly. Were the parents, the other parents, or any of the parents, or any of the the family well-to-do or anything?
It didn't seem to me that they were like overly well to do.
Right. So what the hell's up with the ransom?
I don't know.
It's like pulling blood out of a turnip.
but
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right. That's what
but
leads
here's
me
the
to
crazy-
believe, like John said, it's 1940s
He's a little-
style, but he's a little.
Yeah.
But here's the
there.
crazy thing, you know, his residence was, I think, about 14 miles from where Charlotte lived.
Right.
But apparently, he had property in his name, like within like 1,500 feet of her house.
Okay, so he'd probably seen her before.
Right.
Targeted.
Which is one of those things that where, you know, I
Wow.
mean, you would assume that if there was targeting of a 9-year-old girl, there would be much more nefarious
Right.
reasons for it.
Yeah.
But, and you went to this a little bit earlier, and I said this was the question I was going to ask you, because apparently there's been a lot of pushback on the state police as to why they did not snatch or arrest him when he was seen in front of the house and probably seen putting something in the mailbox.
Right.
And was that the right thing to do?
You know, it's one of those hard calls, because if you reveal yourself as doing a surveillance, then anybody else might know, and the news might know that you're doing a surveillance, and therefore you're tipping your hand.
But at
then
that point-
again, if that was the guy and he got away, so it's like.
But at that point, did they have enough PC to actually physically arrest him, or was it
Well,
just
they could've
all
stopped him.
reasonable
They
suspicion?
definitely
No, I'm
suspicion.
just saying,
That's
but
right. Yeah.
but they were making the whole thing about well, why wasn't he arrested? Well, you have to have the probable cause to make an arrest, not
Right,
just reasonable
and-
suspicion.
You know, you've got to make sure, you know, a lot of times, and yeah, I see this on TV all the time, so I don't, you know, you have someone, hey, I'm going to give you $500, just go put this in the mailbox.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
who'd you
Right.
get that from? Oh,
Right.
you know, so
But that would have also been a good stop.
it would have been a legal stop,
Yeah, totally.
but at this point, you're still trying to locate her.
Yeah, that is the number one priority. In
Absolutely.
This case, yes.
Find the baby.
You know,
Absolutely.
And if you've got a situation where you stop the secondary subject, maybe someone involved in the crime, maybe not, but if you stop them, but they can't take you to her,
Right. And I think it was really good. Like you mentioned it earlier, I think it was really good that the state police actually set up on the house.
Right.
Because who does ransom notes anymore? Nobody
Right.
does ransom
Right.
notes anymore.
Right.
Maybe a social media post from an unknown, or whatever, but everything's tracked. So how
or an
do you-
email.
Yeah, how do you get away with anything?
Yeah.
right?
Unless you leave the ransom note like there with the bicycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, was she snatched with her friends, and what did her friends
No,
say?
her friend. Basically, what happened apparently was her friends were, she and her friends were riding in this bike loop, and she said, "I'm going to go for one more."
Right. So this guy was watching her.
More than likely.
Yep.
Of course, he lawyered up. He didn't say anything as
Right.
to what happened and all that stuff. But they probably got GPS or the phone.
Yeah, and now that they've
Track.
got him and they've recovered her, now they can start filling in all the blanks.
Right.
Why is this guy
Yeah.
there? It's 6 p.m. at night. Don't parks close except for, the people who were actually staying the night? Don't they close at a
Dawn
certain
to
amount of
dusk
time?
or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
so there's
yeah.
a lot of
I
stuff
don't,
that's going
there's
to
a
be
lot of
available.
stuff that we don't know.
Right.
That we can't know. Or
What I find interesting is you said his only arrest is a DUI.
yeah.
No burglaries, no voyeurism, no nothing. You know, is he suspected in any
Yeah,
other
but maybe he
cases?
did. Maybe this is his very first one, and he blew it enough to get caught the very first
Thank
time.
God.
Thank God. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
This reminds me of, I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the offender was John Cooey in Florida, and he kidnapped the girl and kept her in a trailer. And then when he knew that the gig was up, he buried her alive. So thank God this happened. You know,
Right.
the outcome was a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on her name.
I
But he died in prison of anal cancer, so I was happy about that.
Oh, that
right.
just breaks my heart.
Right, yeah, tear ducts.
All right, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We are getting a lot more views than we've ever had, which is awesome. We appreciate every single one of you very much. And make
Power of
sure
the
you
stash.
make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that little notification bell up there. That'll tell you every time we drop a new video. It'll tell you when it's out, so you don't have to go through and search and all that. It'll be bing. You just click on it. It'll take you right to it. Share it with your friends if you really like the content. John, any closing thoughts on this case or whatever?
Well, not on this case, but I just do have a question for Camille.
Yeah, sure.
What is a disease if you have high blood sugar?
It's diabetes.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Wilford Brimley. Do you have any final thoughts about the case? Not the,
No,
or
I think this is.
how about the beer or
The beer's
whatever?
Great. I think this is an excellent example of some amazing police work that
Thank you.
resulted in a
Police
recovery.
restraint.
What?
Police and
restraint,
police work.
Oh yeah,
doing what they were supposed to do.
and making it happen.
Salute
Good
to
job.
that police department for doing a
Good job,
kick-ass
guys.
job. We really. What
Absolutely.
was the name of the PD again, John?
That was New York State Patrol or State Police. So.
Great job for that district who was in charge of this, doing a great job. Salute to each and every one of you. And salute to every single one of you veteran police officers and all of you that are out there still doing the job every night, every day. We appreciate each and every one of you. You can't even imagine how much we appreciate you. And, of course, to all of our veterans.
Yep.
Because it's surviving the badge.
We still
You
got
still got your six. Salute. Absolutely. God, that beer was good.